So you're going to find people who are going to want to do similar goals to you. So maybe that is feeling better in their body. Maybe that is being more health conscious, but also that they're more likely to want to take on a challenge. Right. And I find people who enjoy working out, who have found the enjoyment of it, they appreciate a good challenge at that point, whether it's like, can we squat up to this amount, or can we build some consistency on this amount? And that person's going to be in that same, again, arena as you are.
Do you think having a training partner is going to help you hold yourself accountable to working out? If so, welcome to the Mindset Mirror Connection podcast. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the pros and cons of a training partner. So if you are ready, listen up and lean in as we elevate your mind. Welcome, everyone. For those of you new to this podcast, number one, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe or follow our channel. Number two, we're going to banter for the first 10 to 15 minutes about our lives, puppies, babies, and whatever we're watching. So if you do not want to hear about our lives, check out the show notes below to jump forward to the topic at hand. That's it. The end. Goodbye. What you say in the mind. Goodbye. What's up?
What'd you do this weekend?
I had a fucking weekend.
I know you did.
I was like
fangirling.
I was. So, okay. So Friday, I did record a really fun podcast with Andrea Wise Brown. She's also a mental health therapist.
Oh,
yes. And she has our podcast, Mental Health is a Lifestyle.
Okay.
Love. So we just bantered it up and realized not only are we both therapists, but we both love reality TV. So she wants to do a podcast
on like breaking it down.
Yes.
You're like, funny, deja vu.
Yeah. And I was like, I do that on my other podcast. Yeah. So that happened. And then Saturday morning, I was on the news, which was fun. I love live news because it's quick, but I hate live news because it's live.
Because live. It was very quick. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's get into that.
Okay.
Then literally so Saturday morning was nutty. I woke up, did my little like check-in with myself, worked out, walked Libby just for 30 minutes, then got ready because I had to do like full glam, eyelashes, all of it. Mark ended up helping me because Robin, our PR girl, she said, oh, there's a race downtown, so you're gonna have to park farther away. And I have like weights, all of that stuff. So luckily Mark came. It was actually super helpful. So he came and got in, set up, did the segment, left. All right. I was like, boom, boom, boom. And luckily for that, I was able to come home because I thought I was going to have to get ready in the car to go to the Mary Claire Haver event. That was amazing. So I have a funny story about that too. So I obviously love her, and she was just on Mind Pump. I don't know. Did you know that?
I unsubscribed to them.
Shit.
Yeah. So no, I have no idea what's happening with that.
Yeah. So she was recently on Mind Pump, and Jenny's our nutrition coach. I had invited her on our call. I was like, oh my God, you should come. Like,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. She told me, she's like, oh, I'm going to go with Christina to the thing. And I was like, oh, that should be fun.
Yeah. So we get in there a bit early.
You and Jenny.
Yeah. Well, everyone's like getting food or I don't know what they're doing. And she's standing there and there's like a few people in front of her, like taking photos. So I was like, let's go. So got up to her and had a conversation. I was like, yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, my pants are so slippery that my iPad keeps falling on the ground.
Well, they can watch us on Spotify too.
Oh yeah, you can watch on Spotify. So these little pleather pants are they're leggings. They're like regular leggings. So I'm putting the pillow on my lap. So we get in, and she's standing there, and there's only like a few people in front of her, and they're like taking photos. So I was like, let's go. We're going immediately. And we go in, and she was on Mind Pump recently. So I said, hey, I'm
on Mind Pump too.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. It's like I have a good relationship with those guys. They featured me on the podcast. She's like, they were great. I said, I'm really, I use a lot of your work in my practice. This is what I do. And we're taking the picture, and I go, smile, girls with muscles. And she goes, I'm trying, and it was fine. It was great. Like, quick interaction. We networked a lot. Well, networked enough.
Was it intentionally a network event?
No, it was an event for physicians specifically.
Oh,
yeah. So I met, I probably networked. I probably gave out like 6 or 7
Still.
those little postcards. And I asked a question, and the question was for my OBGYNs, my colorectal surgeons, the ones that work in clinic during the day and then have call shift at night. And that their sleep is so unpredictable because of their work schedule that, you know, we're looking at muscle growth and sleep being so helpful in perimenopause. You know, how does she approach that unpredictability? You know, it's different than a shift worker, that it's still predictable.
Yeah.
And she said, I quit my job. This literally was her answer. And I was like, well, I guess that's that. And then I was like, that's not an answer.
Wait, whose answer was that?
Mary Claire Haber.
That was her answer?
Yeah, she goes, I quit my job. I get what she was saying. She's
Yeah.
like, you shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah.
That's fucking ridiculous. But I was like, but what if you have to?
Yeah.
I have the answer to that. So anyways, so I walked out kind of feeling like, oh, that was a bummer. Like I was really hoping to get some help.
Yeah.
But then I posted the photo of us and a picture of her book at my seat, and she reposted it. And then I got all these people following me now because she reposted my photos. She did not repost everyone's photos. She reposted my photos. So win-win. Yay.
Good job.
So it's like, okay, that makes up for the answer.
Got it.
I mean, I know what she was saying. Like she's like, you know, we should not be subjected to working in a clinic than being up all night,
right?
Being woken up for, especially like babies, being born. Like there needs to be a better way to do that. Yeah. You know, but it's hard because babies don't have like a, you know, time that they're just like, hey, I'm coming.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, hey, you have to come.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So then came home. We drove out to Cave Creek. We need to go out there and like,
you know, so I'm supposed to ask you today. Michael and I want to do a double date with y'all, but it has to be a happy hour. So we need to know when you guys are free.
This Friday.
Well, we can't, not this weekend. Sorry.
Okay.
In the coming weekends. Okay.
We don't have plans. No one invites us to anything.
Well, we're inviting you.
Thank you. Okay. Yay. Yeah. Went out to Cave Creek because we're going to do some work on that back fence. That's kind of peeling right here. So we bought some stuff for that. Then JT and Sarah called. We went to a Korean barbecue place. I'm only used to Howie. Howie. Our friend Howie from New York, who's
lavish.
We love him.
Upscale.
Takes us to the places that we would never. Yeah. Maybe we would have gone to, but like that place has like a 2 to 3 month wait.
Oh my God.
So we go to this place. And I'm like, what is this?
Yeah. What is this?
It was not great. Caitlin goes, that was probably the worst meal I've had.
Really? Oh, that's bad.
It was whatever.
Yeah.
But it was hard to track. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Because they come out and they bring all this food. Yeah. Apparently. And like in Korean culture, like giving something away is a part of their culture.
Oh.
That's what the girl told us. And so you get like a salad. And so regular house salad and onion salad and then all these little sides. I'm like, I don't know what these are. So I started like tasting some.
Yeah. No.
It was interesting. Yeah. And then went over to across the street from JT's house was his neighbor was throwing a party. They had a band. Hung there for a little bit. And then we went home.
Busy week. Busy Saturday.
Yeah. And then what did I do yesterday? I feel like I did. Oh, so? I went to AZ88 with the girls.
Okay.
Yeah, had some good mocktails.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't ever been there. Is it decent?
Yeah.
Okay.
The food is good.
Really?
It was weird though, because I was hungry, but then they ordered they have like waffle fries like Chick-fil-A. So we're all like nibbling on those. And then we had literally a shrimp cocktail that we shared, which was literally one big shrimp.
Yeah.
So I left full. I was like, that wasn't really a meal. So I came home and had like some yogurt.
Yeah.
So what did you do?
Honestly, I didn't do much.
Did you go to that networking event? Didn't you have a networking thing? That's why you couldn't come with me?
No. Oh, no. That got canceled. It was a party. I know. Well, and I was like, oh, it got canceled. And then Michael was like, cool, I'm going to do this stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. And then Jenny had texted me about the event and I was like, oh, fuck. And then like my parents were about to leave for Mexico too. So I was like, fuck, I don't have childcare. Like I could ask Michael.
Someone with the baby there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, it was a women's event.
I'm always like, well, like I went to this one networking thing and one of the gals was like, I don't know if you can bring a baby. I was like, well, the baby's coming. So like, don't have a women's networking event and be like, no babies. Like, that's come on.
Stupid.
So no, I don't know what I did. I feel like, I don't know. Honestly, I probably didn't do anything. I had a baby.
Speaking of babies.
We went to, go ahead.
For those of you in Arizona and the Phoenix area, we are both presenting for a moms in business group on May 7th at 9:30. We'll put the link in the show notes.
It should be. Yep. It'll be this week because this comes out on the 3rd.
Oh, perfect.
So it'll be in a couple days. Yep. We did go to Richardson's yesterday for brunch. And we met up with Robert, who's my former landlord. And so we do love Robert. So we went there and just ate my face. Yeah. Because it's so good.
So good.
I know. And then like thankfully I had 2 mimosas, which now puts me over. And Michael, had Michael's drinks. And we got home. Of course he goes and passes out. And I'm like just holding the baby, like, okay, like I'll figure this out. Yeah, like I'll figure this out. So like we put a blackout curtain in her window. So I like closed the blackout curtain. I put on the sound machine. I just had her kind of like lay on the floor and I was just laying with her, like trying to just roll her. And then eventually when she got tired, I was like, oh my God, put her in a nap. I took a nap and then she actually slept for the nap. And I was like, oh my God, thank God.
Yeah.
So yeah, it worked out.
Because you were so calm. You zenned her out.
Maybe. I don't know. I try and give my co-regulation skills.
I love it.
A good thing.
So speaking of being out of it, so I've been doing those off-duty THC droplets. So I did one. So I drank 2 Heineken Zeros.
Okay. On Saturday.
And then they didn't have any non-alcoholic stuff at the Korean barbecue. So I just had soda water.
Yeah.
And I put the THC drop in it. I was high as a kite. I was like, I don't know if I like this.
To be that high.
But I've done it before. I don't know why
it depends. Set and setting is a big thing. So was it the people, like not that JT and Sarah suck, like they're very nice people. I love them. They're great. But like
so chill.
Sometimes it's certain people, sometimes it's the setting, and also like if the food sucked, then you're kind of like, eh.
Well, and when it poured out, it kind of stuck on the side of the glass. So I don't know if it like got all at the like at the top. I don't know what happened, but I was like, whoa. I'm also, this is the first time taking it since I've been like a month into my
sobriety.
Well, no, my Wellbutrin.
Oh,
and it does. I mean, it kind of like enhances both.
Oh, well,
that's what I read.
I mean, hey,
but that's like a real dose of THC. I'm microdosing it. I'm gonna try it again.
I don't know. Yeah, I unfortunately still cannot do anything with THC.
Yeah,
because it like stays in your fat cells, and your fat cells are what make milk. So therefore, your baby. I know. So I'm like, fuck.
Well, would you use it as energy? What does it go to your fat cells?
I don't know. That was just, I didn't really look into it. Like, I was just like, I just kind of saw it and I was like, oh, all right. Well, there goes that.
I also finished my CEU, my one binge eating certification this morning. Good. It was interesting. It ended with like health at every size and like what it's not.
We should do an episode on that.
Okay, deal. Well, it was interesting because actually it's very similar to what we believe.
Okay.
Like it's not against weight loss.
I know.
It's just that's the secondary symptom to what it teaches. Which I was like, oh, I can get into that.
Yeah.
You know? That's kind of like what we do. The weight loss is maybe not a secondary symptom to, but it's a much more respectable way of becoming healthier.
Yeah. I think what you're getting at is from my understanding, health at every size is like, you are who you are, accept that, love that. Everybody should accept that and love that.
Right.
Whereas there's the other side of the spectrum of like, you want to lose weight? I'll help you lose weight. And our perspective is, you want to lose weight? I can help you facilitate that, but we've got to work on these other things first.
Yeah.
And then see what happens with your body, because it might be different perspective once you achieve these other things.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
So we'll do an episode on that. So today's episode, we're talking about why we see this a lot in our Facebook group. If you haven't joined already, it's women's weight loss and workout support. We'd love to see you there. It's free. There's no membership fee like others. Just come on in, come say hi. But we see that a lot. Looking for a workout partner in my area, So we decided we talk about like if you should need a training partner or not. So people usually, the reason why they want this is obviously accountability. Having someone to go with you and make sure you wake up and you know that they're going to depend on you to go. And it makes not going a bit harder to do.
Yeah, because someone's relying on you to also be there.
Right.
So it's thinking of like, I need somebody else to motivate me as well. So like they can motivate each other.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about like the cons of that, but sometimes that doesn't play out. But more so even motivating maybe to do higher weight, right?
Mm-hmm.
So motivating like for a spotter, if I'm uncomfortable lifting that kind of weight, they can be there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Social support, of course. I tend to think like there's a difference between having a training partner one-on-one and a difference between a group setting too.
Yeah.
And so there is some pros and cons to each of those kind of arenas for this.
Camille and I used to go together.
Uh-huh.
That was fun. And basically it was because I wanted her to get comfortable with the gym, because she had never gone to like a traditional gym setting, and now she like thrives.
She's fine.
Yeah, she
trust me, she's fine.
Thriving in the gym. And so that was fun, but also it was like, well, if you want to sleep in a little bit, then like,
right.
And both of us are so type A. I'm like, this bitch is late.
Yeah, it's 5:07.
Yeah.
She said she'd be here at 5:05.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And she same with me. She's like, I've got to work after this.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be mean to each other or anything, but yeah. So, there's that too, like friendly competition, and it wasn't really competition. It was like pushing each other. I'm like, you can lift more than that.
Yes.
And then Mind Pump was doing a strong woman deadlift hashtag. And we both started like seeing how much we could deadlift. Then there was this, we were filming it, so we put the hashtag in. Then there was a guy deadlifting, and I was like, "Hey, can I borrow your weight?" And then I went into his deadlift.
Good.
We both did.
Good.
Pulled that shit up.
Good.
So it was great. It was fun, but again, like even for me, I always go back and forth about going to the regular gym. Now, I'm getting a free membership. I'm not sure how I did it, so yay me.
Where?
At Mountainside. Because I canceled my John Hancock stuff, but Mountainside said I still had a membership, but I'm not paying for it. So okay.
Why'd you guys cancel John Hancock?
Not the John. I'm sorry, that portion.
Oh, okay.
Because I was like, well, I'm not going.
Yeah. So why do we pay for that? Yeah. And you guys aren't traveling around anymore, so you don't need that. Okay.
So, but being able to like leg press and squat or do the hack squat and stuff like that. So even then, I'm like, well, I can, get up now, do my, 45 minutes of me time, then casually get into the gym. And if I want to do any sort of like work or whatever I want to do in between sets, I can do. And I just talk myself out of it. So I would do the same if I was like with a partner, a training partner. Like, I wouldn't be that I would talk myself out of it. I would feel too like confined.
Yeah.
Like, it's not my own thing. It's like our thing. But anyways. Hey, YouTube, today's giveaway, yes, we're starting this, is the Self-Mastery Method, which is a self-led program on my mindset method. All you have to do is comment below on this podcast, and we are going to randomly select the winner, and you will get access to that program for 4 months and be able to work through the entire method and join along with all that we do. Now, back to the show. Let's talk about the pros and cons.
Yeah.
Speaking of that.
So I'm going to be transparent. I don't like training partners. So I'm going to come from a place of like, nope, this is not what I am a favor of.
Yeah. I liked it when we were doing it together. But again, this isn't for us though.
Yeah. That's correct.
Yeah. Cause we can work out on our own. Right. We would want to talk to the person who really can't find that consistent going to the gym. Could this be helpful? Sure. So pros are, again, that building consistency with the schedule. Now I think of this as you can use this to, like Camilla did, like to kind of get into the gym. It's nice too if you don't know what the equipment, how to use it, especially if the other person has more experience in the gym. Or you're both like new to it and you can both do the walkthrough and ask questions. And when it's kind of like when you're with a friend, like it's a little bit easier to reach out to someone, like say there's someone using the equipment, like you don't feel as like vulnerable because you're with your buddy and like, we don't know how to use this. Can you tell us? Like it's just like, it's both of us. It's not just me. So I think there's that aspect of it, is like building consistency, and then obviously making just the newness of the gym a little bit more I don't know. It's
Less
a better way to
intimidating.
ease.
Yeah.
Less intimidating and a better way to like ease into this new thing.
Well, and I like for the as far as like building consistency through finding like a scheduled time, because one, you can't just be like, hey girl, you going to the gym at 12 today? And she's like, no, it's 3. So there's that one, I'm going to schedule a time to go and we have to fit it in our schedule. So now it's a plan thing, which we always talk about. But 2, like thinking of the group fitness classes, like those are on schedules. You know, it's not just like you walk in, oh, there happens to be 15 people, let's do a Zumba class.
Right.
So you do have a scheduled time that you're going to go. And that's, again, one of the things that we talk about to the new gym goers, or even maybe the ones that were consistent and then fell off and are looking to get back in, is you have to schedule the time and put it in your calendar. Make it a date with yourself. You wouldn't cancel the meeting with your friend to go to lunch. So now make that meeting at the gym.
Yeah.
And so it makes it more concrete towards what you're trying to do.
I mean, obviously just having your buddy there, especially if it's someone that you're close with, you can talk about life. It's a nice way.
Time.
Yeah. Well, and there's so much around, I talk about this in like my soberish journey of like, what do I do? People don't invite us out, so what do I do with my life? Having that social aspect of going to the gym with someone else is like in place of going to, a boozy brunch. But also just makes it more pleasurable, right? You're talking, you're shooting the shit, you're encouraging each other, you're checking out your gym crushes.
Oh yeah.
Maybe even pushing each other to talk to. I've done that before. So it just makes it a little bit more enjoyable, which is good because a lot of people can have this perception of the gym as this like chore, this daunting thing that's not great. Now, obviously that's a belief. That's not truth, right? It's so cool when we see people change that too.
I know.
Of like, oh no, it's my time.
Yeah.
Like I just put my music on. I don't want to talk to anyone else. I want to just go. And I'm like, yes, that's where I want you to be.
Yeah.
But again, just, it's like going to a coffee or just throwing weights around.
I know. It's interesting. Yeah. I would say like change the date, like situation from not date, like girlfriend platonic, right? From going to coffee, going like on, to a bar or something and just be like, let's just go to the gym. And because you're going to spend the same hour, chatting it up. But even thinking of like, you can share common things. Like most of your friends that you surround yourself with are kind of in the same playing field, hopefully.
Not mine.
Well, and I was going to say, and as you've learned over time that your friends kind of change over time, depending on where you're playing in. Right. So for example, like I had friends that would go out a lot. And so I was going out a lot until I started not going out so much. Then my friend group changed a bit. Right. And then you start going to the gym. Okay. Well, now your friend group, it kind of becomes these gym people. And so you're finding people with like goals and like situations. Right. So if they are making time for the gym, their health is, assuming, all things created equal, their health is a priority. Right. And so you're going to find people who are going to want to do similar goals to you. So maybe that is feeling better in their body. Maybe that is being more health conscious, but also that they're more likely to want to take on a challenge. Right. And I find people who enjoy working out, who have found the enjoyment of it, they appreciate a good challenge at that point, whether it's like, can we squat up to this amount? Or can we build some consistency on this amount? And that person's going to be in that same, again, arena as you are.
I agree. So those are the pros. Let's talk about the cons, which obviously a big one is just your schedules. Yeah. Your schedules won't align, or, you can have the person who doesn't really want it.
Yeah.
So they will,
or they bail on you all the time.
That's what I was going to say. They sleep through their alarm. They just don't want to do it. And so you're kind of stuck, which is fine because for you, you're creating that consistency of waking up, getting there. If they don't show up, you're still there. Yeah. Right. But it can cause a lot of stress. It can cause a lot of missed workouts, especially if you're dependent on them, which I think is another con. Is it creates dependency that I only go to the gym when this person goes to the gym. And if it can very much, they can talk you out of going if they don't want to go. So if you're that dependent on them to hold you accountable, when they're not holding themselves accountable, what happens to you? Right. You can definitely be like talked out of going.
This is where the group class might have more of a benefit because there's more likely more than one person that you connect to, or even like the coach or the leader of that group, where if that leader's not there, like say there's a sub, then you have your friend that's still going. If your friend's not going, then maybe that leader that is you like is still there. So you feel almost like an obligation to still be there. And whereas the group also, I noticed like if you don't show up for a couple times, more than one of them be like, oh, we've missed you the last couple times. Where have you been?
Right.
And so it kind of creates this friendship that you might not even know their names. Like I've had that experience before. It's like, I don't know their names, but they're like, oh, you know, you always choose this performer. I always choose this one. Like, well, just kind of chatting next to each other. Right. So it creates a camaraderie.
I actually, at the Mary Claire Haver event, one of my old members from F45, she's a gynecologist. And we were like, I know you, you know, and she used to come to my Sunday class. She would like, you're the best coach here. I'm like, thank you.
Hard. What do you want to work on?
Yeah, no. I was like, where are you training?
Yeah.
She said she's training with the personal trainer.
Damn.
So I was like,
not me though.
That's okay.
Yeah.
She's can still
get it
for to others. The other thing is it's not necessarily a, you know, it's not a non-negotiable, but your levels may not match.
Yes.
So that's not, I wouldn't say that's necessarily going to hold anyone back. It's just going to take more time.
Correct.
Right. So like, if you fucking squat 290 one rep max and my one rep max is like 210, so we're gonna spend some time, take some fucking plates off. 215 maybe. Take some plates off. And you know, that's just gonna make it a bit longer.
Well, and this is so I want to caveat this for the person that is, so say there's somebody that doesn't have my history that I have of like strength training and they want me to go to the gym with them. Me as that person needs to recognize I'm using that time to help them, not to get my workout in.
That's tough.
That correct. And so you have to change your mindset and then you still have to find time to do your own workout. Right.
Yeah.
Now for them, that person needs to be able to take what I have to say and apply it to themselves so they're not dependent.
Right.
But also considering like me being that person. So say someone comes to me who is a novice in the gym and they're like, hey, I want to come work out with you. I can't say yes and expect them to meet my standards. Right. Like it's not my role to get them to where I am at.
Right.
And they need to understand. So it's very important that you choose a similar person, but also the negative to that is y'all are similar in that you probably aren't consistent right now. And so who is going to keep going and how do you keep going without that person?
Right. And we'll talk about how to choose the right partner. And then something we just already talked about is like, they just keep canceling on you. And again, that can sway you of, well, they're canceling. So do I really have to go?
Right.
You know, and if you're already struggling with that consistency, it's an easy out.
Well, and I would also say too, is like, even if they do show up, like, are you guys just chatting the whole time? Too?
Yeah.
You know, like it's great to chat like in
God.
between sets, but like, we got to get to work here, you know?
I can't. There was these two girls that went to
Yapping.
Well, they just like both dressed the same. So they did this like, I'm influencer, like, so they would wear.
TikTok is so weird.
Yeah. They would wear these oversized sweatpants.
Yeah. They do
and
that.
Like,
but then
little booty shorts underneath.
Yes.
And then the sports bra.
Yes.
And then a big sweatshirt over that. And then the like high top shoes.
And then it slowly comes off.
And then it's like them posing in the mirror.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God,
Stop.
Good for you they're young. I was like, good for you for strength training. That's what I had to say in my head. Like,
good for you. You're here.
Be a bitch.
Yeah.
I would like to wear sweatpants, but I sweat so fucking much.
Well, and also like
disaster.
They aren't going to work very well if I'm squatting.
Right.
Like it would have to be a very specific sweatpant.
Well, they were cute.
Okay.
Okay. So how to choose the right training partner?
Yeah.
One thing you said, just picking someone with similar, like we would be okay.
Yes, we would be fine.
Together, you know?
Yeah.
And we would probably cause a scene. And I like to cause a scene.
Yeah.
That would be really fun. I think we should do it.
Because I'm a douche at the gym.
Me too.
Yeah. Like I'm a dick.
Okay. I told you guys that one guy, no one's there. And he's like, can I jump in with you? And I'm like, there's other fucking leg presses around here, bro. Like, why are you jumping in? And then you're so strong. Like, thank you. Shut the fuck up.
Mary.
No, I'm not here to talk to you.
Yeah.
Oh, I got hit on the other day.
Oh, cute. That's nice. Flattering.
Thank you. I was trying to parallel park my new car.
Oh, no.
And it was the first time driving the car. So I was like, I was like, I had never parallel parked before. My car also parallel parks itself. I didn't know that until afterwards. So this guy walking by, I was like, excuse me, can you help me? Oh, and he like helped me. He goes, well, for that, I need your phone number. And I was like, I'm married. But thank you very much for that.
He's like, damn it.
He was like 32. Ooh, maybe younger.
Ooh.
Mama's got it. Anyway, and that's another advantage is if you're both single, you can go
for rare.
Or you don't even have, one could be your wingman. You don't have to be single to be your wingman. So that's definitely it. Obviously communication. And I think what I was going to say earlier about this is what happens when one of us doesn't want to go?
Yeah.
How are we going to handle that with each other? I think setting that up in the beginning is going to be crucial.
Well, and
for you.
Like, how do we handle if we don't want to do the same program?
Right.
Like at some point you guys are going to want to do something different or something. Like, do we do what you want to do for 12 weeks and then what I want to do for 12 weeks? And then are we really going to be working out together for 24 weeks?
Right.
Like, so that goes with having the same goals, having the partner, but also communicating like, okay, but what actually are our goals and what actually are we going to work on? And like, are we going to do the same thing every time or are we doing something new every time? Because one could get bored and be like, oh, we need to do something different today. But it's like, but then who's choosing what you do and how does that relate to the programming?
Right. No, I agree. I think eventually Camilla and I just started
going, showing up
and
then you go.
Yeah. And then, you got it.
Yeah.
And again, avoiding kind of that codependency, right? Making sure like I'm going to be okay if I need to go by myself. This is the cherry on top of the process of having my friend there, but I'm not dependent on her being there. And that's really important. Again, you can use them to kind of create that momentum and that routine. But once you create the routine, you need to remind yourself, like, I'm the one who got up, got in the car, went to the gym. They just happened to be one of my motivating factors when I started. But now I'm doing it so consistently, like them not being there doesn't impact that.
They should be an asset, not a
barrier.
A grievance. Like it should, like you're saying, it should not matter whether they're there or not. But if they are there, it's nice. Whereas if they are there, you shouldn't be like, oh, okay, like dreading it.
Yeah. God, I dread a lot of things. Where I'm like, do I have to go to that? Okay. No. Green flags. They show up on time.
Oh, yes.
It's a big one. Give them a 3 to 5 minute.
And
I think you talk about that. Like, look, 3 to 5 minutes when we expect to show up because I'm going to be warming up. And once I'm warm, I'm going. So.
Well, especially if you're going in the morning too. Like I don't have time to dig around for 15 minutes.
No.
Yeah.
My mornings are so regimen. It's nutty. Like, people are like, wait, I was on that podcast. She goes, oh, what'd you have for breakfast? Because I was like, oh, I think I said, oh, I just ate breakfast. I go, oh no, that was actually my second meal of the day.
I know I've already had 2 meals too.
Same.
Yeah.
And she's like, what? Yeah. Like, this is how I do it.
Yeah.
Obviously having someone that is not judgmental, it's not going to like, beat you down and be condescending about your workout. We want someone who encourages you.
Yes.
So that's a green and red flag. So red flag, judgmental; green, encouraging, supportive,
willing to try new things too.
Yeah.
Willing to ask for help too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Willing to be a wingman.
But keeps it also like focused on tasks. You know, we're not getting distracted by certain things
right. Well, and that's where it becomes this hour-and-a-half thing. And now I can't fit it in.
Right.
Where it's like, no, you can just bust it out and be like, okay, I'll call you on the way home so we can finish our conversation, you know?
Yeah.
And huge one, being okay with working out in silence. Like I want to put on my headphones when I'm lifting and do my thing. Right. I just feel like that's such a cathartic, therapeutic thing to like blast music in my ear and do my, whatever set and have that time for myself. Maybe in between sets, we can be chatting it up. But for me, being okay with silence is huge.
And I would say like, it's not your job to make them more comfortable too. And I think that's where I could see where, I have to chat with them, like, because they feel so uncomfortable. So I'm like trying to help them at some point. Like this is your workout time too.
Right.
And so if they can't get over that hump and it's not to say you're here, you might as well get over it. But it's like, if they can't progress in kind of their comfortability with the gym, then you should assess the situation if it's the right one for you.
Yeah. So other red flags, obviously canceling all the time.
Oof.
That's
rescheduling all the time.
Yeah. It's pointless.
Yeah.
You don't know. Again, they're an asset, not a barrier. Getting too competitive.
Mhm.
So I would do this in CrossFit. There's a couple girls
I was
that
the worst CrossFit person.
there was a couple, and they would do it back to me, and I'm just like, okay, I get it, but y'all been doing this forever, and I'm like 2 months into it. Like, thank you for the compliment that you compared to me. But I would do it, and then I'd be pissed, and then I'm like, oh, I didn't, they did this better than me, or they lifted it, at what was it called, like at
RX,
yeah, prescribed,
the scale and prescribed.
Yeah. So I so finally I was like, I'm not using the system. I forgot what the system was called.
What do you mean? The Wodify or whatever.
Wodify.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, take me out of there. I'll just do the workout. And the same at 45, because you would wear these heart rate monitors, but my resting heart rate is lower than everyone else.
Right.
So I'm down at the bottom every fucking class. Last place. I'm like, this is bullshit. So I was that person.
Yeah.
And it made me not want to go.
Well, yeah. And I would say I've been the person that got competitive in the toxic way. And then I've been like the receiving end. So I've been on both persons, and it's not nice either way.
No.
Like it's definitely, there's a lot of mental struggles with both sides of it.
I don't like the comparison either.
No.
Like, you don't know how I slept last night. You don't know what I'm going through in my life.
Also, that was like,
happy that
now that I'm like out of CrossFit, when I think about like the RX weight, I'm like, okay, so, but like, again, let's go back to squatting, right? Like for me, 155 is very comfortable. And for somebody else, 155 might be like their 1 rep max.
Correct.
But like and so it's like, well, then do the scale. And it's like, but 75 might be too light for her. So why wouldn't we just do like RP, you know, for these people?
Right.
But well, whatever.
And then obviously, if they just want to talk,
yes,
they're just there to talk. They're just there to, wear cute outfits. When I was in Salt Lake, let me tell you, those Salt Lake
mom talks.
Don't wear shit.
I got on Mom Talk TikTok dive last night. So weird.
Yeah.
We should talk about that on the next episode. Okay.
And they were just like these 2 girls there. I'm like, they're just here to flirt.
Yeah.
I'm like, these people are literally just here to flirt and walk around and be like, hee hee ha ha, play hee hee, as Elena would say.
Is that what she said?
She's like, yeah, they're just playing hee hee.
That's funny. That's a good one.
Yeah. Okay. Alternatives to in-person training partners. So you can have virtual accountability, which is what we provide in our group. Having a coach, being able to check off a box, being able to send comments, form videos, text chat. You don't need a coach to do that. You can just say, an ex-friend of mine used to do that, where we'd be like, we earned it today, but it was always around alcohol, like earn my booze. That was a company out here called Earn Your Booze.
Is it not a company anymore?
I don't know. I've not seen it online anymore.
I haven't seen it
so we would send our screenshots of our watch.
Oh, seriously?
Oh, yeah.
To them? Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Well, I would say another alternative is the group fitness classes too. Like, I know we've kind of touched on that, but like, if you really need that accountability of like, and you want to feel, I almost want to say, like, if you need to feel like a little bit hidden, like you're not ready to be just a single person on the gym floor, like a group fitness class is excellent.
Oh, yeah. And you can meet a lot of people. I was talking to Mark. I said, I think I'm going to go to a group fitness class. I want to meet new people. Like, how else do you meet people?
That's true. That are into it.
Yeah. If you're not going out and drinking, like those are not the people I want to associate myself with. Now, my friends drink, but they also work out.
Well, it's like, what do you want to do on a Saturday morning? You want to go to brunch, or you want to go do a workout?
Right. I want to do both. But I literally am thinking about it. I'm like, not for the workout. I can give 2 shits about the workout, just for the vibe. There's also some female entrepreneur groups that meet in person. Then I should probably
that would probably be more beneficial.
Yeah. And then, of course, hiring a coach that'll create that structure, support. They're not flaky. They have to be there. Hopefully, some of them are flaky. Actually, take that back. We're not flaky. And
well, if the coach or the trainer is repeatedly canceling on you and rescheduling, that's a bad training partner.
Correct. Jeez Louise. Yeah. But really, a training partner can enhance the journey. It can make it, like I said, help you create the wake up, put the clothes on, get in the car, get to the gym, create that routine for yourself. So that then maybe 3 weeks into it, you don't even need them anymore. If you continue with them, great. If not, great.
Yeah.
Now we're familiar with the gym. We have the time carved out for us, and we go.
I think that's an important point that you just brought up, made me think is like you have to learn, like, as we talk about flexibility, but there's so much flexibility in every single little thing considered like in a training arena specifically. So like flexibility. So maybe you do use the friend as a motivator to go originally. Okay, then maybe we use each other to show up at the same time, but we're not necessarily doing the same workout. Okay, then maybe we start to say, okay, hey, I can't come Monday. I'm going to go Tuesday, right? And they still go that Monday.
Right.
And then, but just practicing, like, because people think it's so rigid. Like if my training partner doesn't go, I don't go, right? So all or nothing thinking even applies to this scenario, where it's more so of like, okay, you have to have the goal in mind. And how does that goal apply to you? But what's plan B, C, D, E, F, G? And going from there too.
Right. Well, it's motivating yourself from within, right? Like this is mine. This isn't ours.
Yes.
Or theirs even.
Yeah.
And I think that's the approach, that kind of all or nothing / codependent approach to training with someone else is you're motivated by them.
Correct.
So if they're not there, you're not motivated. Whereas if I say, no, I'm going to use them to help me establish this routine, and then eventually kind of work my way out of not using them anymore. Or if we just have a flow, great.
Yeah.
But I don't have to, they're not a crutch. I don't depend on them. And then you become your biggest accountability partner. You're the one who, I mean, I know for me, I'm very good about, we're both really good about like taking weeks off if we need them.
I took a week off last week.
Nice.
I know.
But also, I'm not going to lie, there's been a few times last week and this week where I'm like, I don't want to work out. And then I go and I'm like, fuck yeah, I just did that. Like, and I literally like say it out loud and like do a little jump in the gym because I'm by myself, because I can do that by myself. So
yeah, you should. Having a home gym, you get weird.
Oh yeah. Just dancing and like doing choreography from 2010.
Yep. And then
Britney
have a baby
Spears.
in there. You're entertaining them in between sets.
So
it is what it is.
You become that person. Right. And I think for that too is you just learn so much about yourself, your resilience, your ability to get through hard shit, your ability to say, I'm going to do this anyways. And I love that. So good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, if you want a gym partner in your pocket, please check out our show notes to check out our clarity call so you can talk to us about potentially working with us. It really is having that coach in your pocket, because you have availability to message us, obviously, with our one-to-one coaching, our weekly calls. Also, again, if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribing if you're watching our beautiful faces on YouTube, or if you're listening to our beautiful voices on whatever podcast channel you listen to. Please make sure you're following our channel. If you haven't already, we love 5-star ratings and reviews. And I am going to be working on, for real this time, swag.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So for those of you who are interested in what you say in the mind, you see in the mirror shirts, you're going to have to comment or review. Yeah, we're doing it. We're pulling one from the old Mind Pump bag.
Oh, I was going to say the old Mark Office bag.
Yeah. Mark Office bag.
We're in his office. We had the swag.
Oh yeah, we did. So anyway, other than that, we're going to leave you the same way we always do. What you say in that mind,
you see in the mirror.
Goodbye.
Bye.